Hi, I'm Joshua Curving, and welcome to another DBXamination, where we're going to be taking a look at the DBX matchup announced and find out who would win in an actual researched death battle. Last time we had Shantae versus Shovel Knight, and I was quite surprised to see Shovel Knight actually take the win there. But I'm pleasantly surprised at that because I definitely prefer Shovel Knight myself. The animation was really good. Only thing I noticed is that Shantae kind of ran the fight until the end when Shovel Knight won. It's also worth noting that in the ending where Shantae wins, Shovel Knight actually does a lot more. Like, he uses his Dust Knuckles, he used the Warhorn. There were just a bunch of items that he didn't use in the fight where he won. I just find it a little bit weird that they would go that route like that, but oh well. So next we have one that kind of takes a lot of what I'm doing right now and it kind of turns it on its head. But there is still stuff that is worth talking about for it. And that is Lucario versus Blaziken. Right off the bat, a lot of people are kind of looking at it and going, Blaziken's fire fighting type, Lucario is fighting steel type advantage, Blaziken wins. No, that's not how it works. Reasonably speaking, a death battle involving these two would also include their showings in other mediums, including the game, like other games, anime, movies, etc. And that's kind of where our first thing comes into play, is that Lucario has a lot more showings throughout the franchise than Blaziken does. In the anime, for example, the only notable Blazikens, I believe was one that fought Karina, and then May's Blaziken, which honestly didn't do all that much. While Lucario has a lot more showings from the Lucario movie, where it bodied, like, Reggie. I think it was, I don't know which one of the three he beat, but it was one of the Reggie trio, like Reggie Ice, Reggie Steel, Reggie Rock. He fought them fairly evenly. And then there are just other times where he's basically just hitting way above his weight class. He's practically a pseudo-legendary almost. So it kind of gives him a lot more of an edge in terms of he has feats. There was a time where he, contained an explosion that was going to destroy an island. In general, there's a lot more there. Lucario also has a wider move pool and can still overcome the type disadvantage aspect by using a Boomerang or Bone Rush. I think he has both, actually, which are ground type moves against the Blaziken. It has superior stat buffs that it can do for itself. It has precog through its aura sensing. Technically, in terms of in-game stats, it is faster. And I think what really sticks the needle in this one is that the only canonical instance of this fight actually happening in the anime was when Karina fought someone who had a Blaziken, and she ended up winning. So we have had a Lucario fight a Blaziken, and the Lucario won. Which kind of goes to show that in a lot of cases, the type advantage and disadvantage isn't really the be-all, end-all. There's a lot of factors that go into Pokemon battles, and it's kind of short-sighted to look at it and just be like, oh, water type versus fire type, that wins every time. It doesn't work like that. In this case, it's just through sheer exposure that Lucario has everything he needs to be able to win. And in this case, who do I think will win the vote? So, naturally, I do think Lucario wins in an actual researched fight, just he's got a lot more. But the vote's going to be interesting. Lucario, I think, is definitely a more popular Pokemon, but the Pokemon community has a very weird thing where it's like, the more popular a Pokemon is, the more there is a subset of people who hate it. Like, there's a lot of people who hate Charizard just because it's a very popular Pokemon. And Lucario kind of has that too. So that kind of puts us into this situation where there's going to be some people who prefer Gen 3. Like, Blaziken was what I went with for when I played Pokemon Ruby. And I didn't really use a Lucario in Diamond and Pearl. So I think I probably would say that I prefer Blaziken as a Pokemon. So it's kind of interesting to see what's going to end up happening with the vote. I do think Lucario is going to take it, but I think it is going to be pretty close, actually. It's also being done in 3D, which is going to be hype. So I'm very much looking forward to what we end up getting here. This one has a lot less to unpack, unfortunately, but that's what's going to happen with any case where it's same series, because you can usually just extrapolate it by the scaling chains they do have. So that's all I will say for this one, and I will see you guys for the next one.